This is the most important sketchbook I've ever completed. It's where I experimented and learnt new mediums and also figured out what my art style could be. It's the sketchbook tour, it's number 5 and it's finally time. Oh, it's been a while since we've done a full sketchbook tour. Honestly, I'm excited, especially because this is a big one. This is sketchbook number 5. And if you fancy seeing high quality scans of all 18 of my completed sketchbooks, they are up on my Patreon. Every single supporter is incredible, especially the sketchbook buddies. Thank you so much for all of your support. Well, let's get started. These stickers are mostly random, so we don't need to pay too much attention to them. Just like Shein and Temu hauls, you might have seen them. All of these little ones are actually from Dove and Moon. I want to give away, but I don't think she's running the shop anymore. This is my first attempt at a wax seal and it's so cute. Luckily, so far it hasn't fallen off. The first page is this. I think pretty much every single one of my sketchbooks has the start and end date on the first page. Started on the 15th of February and ended in November. So this was quite a quick sketchbook. I think it was the time before I got loads and had different sketchbooks for different uses. I had some specifically for watercolor. Now I've got marker sketchbooks. Like, you just end up with loads if you have different art supplies. And funnily enough, this page here is actually one of the last pages I ever completed. Look, I'm about to finish the sketchbook. I'm just gonna do anything. Black fine liner, white gel pen, watercolor everywhere. I just wanted it done. This is a swatch chart for the Himi Jelly Gouache that is no longer with us because it went moldy. I don't know why, but I decided to do pure mixes here and then white and black mixing variants. I don't know why I decided to do that because I never mix with black. It made no sense, but I did it anyway. I mean, it's a pretty cute chart though, just a shame the palette's no longer with us. These are eyes. I went through a bit of an eye phase. I wouldn't say that I'm completely out of it yet. This one here is watercolor, but it has white mixed in, so there's a little bit of Naples yellow there. This one, the metallic went so weird. Can you see that texture? I don't know what happened. I cannot draw people with their eyes shut, as you can see. The anatomy just goes out the window. I can't figure it out. This one's kind of cute, but we got some transfer. Moved on to mouths. That's something. That's not a bad nose. I'll give myself that. That one's kind of cute. This is shell pink. It's such a gorgeous color, isn't it? Transfer is a really big problem in this sketchbook. I actually made a video reviewing this sketchbook because I have a little one and a big one. The little one is already up on my channel, that sketchbook tour. And I still can't decide whether I like the sketchbook or not. It has so many pros and cons. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave it below. I'm torn. Ooh, the 7 Billies. I drew Billie Eilish 7 times to try and find my art style. I will link every video we mentioned down below. This one is my favorite, and this is probably still furthest away from anything I do. Wasn't a fan of the heavy color pencil. I kind of like the stylized version there. That's gouache, this one's gouache. The nose is tiny. Do you see how small that is? This line art piece here is a new style that I wanted to try and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I actually made a ton more of these as little trading cards or ACEOs, is that it? And they're up on my shop. Something about this color palette I absolutely love. I love that you can tell the hair is ginger and the eyes are so bright. But there's also orange tone in the skin. It's aesthetically pleasing. Next up is the first ever portrait that I painted in gouache. The eyes are not very even in the slightest. It was a first attempt. And gouache is scary, it's very different. If she was just a little bit smaller, the hair kind of leaves the page in multiple places and I think that ruins it. Obviously, this is a time when I was scared to use blue, so there isn't much color going on. I do like the little nose ring with the gel pen though, that's cute. Oh, I actually made this for a TikTok. I would mix each individual color and then just layer that color really, or slight variations of it. So you can see that this is very much the same tone throughout. And nowadays I like to add a little bit more color. To be honest, when it comes to darker skin tones, I still really like using purple as a base. So that's something I still do. Next up, oh, Encanto, CASITA. Love the little pebbles here, they're so cute. This actually took me 3 days. There's so much detail, it's crazy. actually. This would be a good sketchbook idea. It's literally just fine liner with splatters. Messy but fun. Which is the best way to create art. Galaxies. So the first two are cute, but then I decided to add white gouache. And this is something I do every time now because I do like the colors of the first two. I prefer the colors, but I think we can all agree that the white gouache just adds something to it. Next up, we've got gouache. This is the Himi Jelly Gouache palette that I used a lot. You know what? I do still love these color palettes. I did have to put wax on it. You can see there's a slight sheen. The wax does go a little bit odd, I've noticed, after a while. You can see on the surface it separates a little bit. So whilst I do like having the wax as a way to make paintings waterproof and protect them, but sometimes just a little bit of transfer I can kind of deal with. Oh, this is gouache as well. I was really impressed with this, and I do really like this one too. You can see there's a pink undertone, so there's slight bits of pink here, which I really love. I'm really impressed with that, I must say. Quite funny because I sat here and created these, really liked them, and then never did it again. This is watercolor, very Greek. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of transfer again, but it was fun to make. I think the reference might have been on Pinterest. Then, oh, this is a cloud study page. There's a lot of color going on here. I don't know how many of these clouds you'd really see in the wild. Some are perfectly blended, some aren't. Salt, I think that is. This also has gouache. This is layering. That's all blooms. Really just trying everything at this point. We've even got gel pen here. And then tried the line art style again. This time a darker skin tone, but I guess I forgot to add pink. I do like the metallic here with Poscas on top. I think it worked well. It's like really subtle. And again, I really like it. And then I just didn't do much with it. Oh no. Okay, this sketchbook is before any art prompt book. I didn't have this, create this book, so I tried to create my own original art. It failed. I had ideas and I just couldn't execute them. Kind of destroyed my confidence. This is another one that I filmed for TikTok. This was me in my TikTok era, 2022. And these kind of videos did well. Back in the day on TikTok, you just had to post a lot. So I could do a full page like this and get lots of little individual videos. And they did well back in the day, but nowadays, I don't know what to do on there. This one has reactivated a little bit. Don't know what happened here. But yeah, we got a little bit of gouache and a little bit of watercolor. The succulent is cute. There's loads of different colors there. And you know what? I do like the spread. Maybe the blueberries could have been a little bit closer to the middle because there's a lot of yellow going on. Maybe this is when I started to get into splatters. Oh, these ones I actually really love. So I put myself off creating original art, but I did want to try the line art portrait style with a landscape, and that's how these were made. A very loose watercolor layer with Posca on top. I really like this one. This is actually one of my favorites of the year. Oh, I wonder if I did a recap. Yeah, maybe I did do an art recap that year. Every year in December, I go through all of the art that I've created that year for a video, and those are always fun. I'll be doing it again this year. I love all of these blooms. I really do. These are a lot softer than these ones, I will say though. These are all of my old watercolor paints. I feel like you can tell they're just not as rich and vibrant as the fancier ones I have now. Like, it's colorful, but it doesn't have much depth. And we have more eyes. But I'm glad I did it this way because can you imagine if you painted individual portraits and every single one was ruined because the eyes weren't good? If there is just one thing that you need to practice, studies are so much more efficient. I do love this color of pink with the green eyes and the ginger eyebrows. Great combo. Yeah, I must have just loved Naples yellow at the time. Oh, the lashes. I still haven't figured out how to do them. Like, all of the irises are literally spilling onto the lids. This was actually a really cool find. I spontaneously added highlight to the cheek and it kind of looks like highlight. Do you see that? There's a little bit on the nose as well. I thought I would take the opportunity to talk about it and talk about what went wrong and talk about being okay with making bad art. The eye just went completely wrong. This is a terrible angle. And then I added metallics to try and save it, and then the background's too bright. So many things went wrong. It doesn't look good. After that, we have a page of studies. Of course we do. Lots of noses. These are a bit weird. That one's not too bad. Oh, my first ear. Well, I haven't painted any since. I actually really like painting this ear. There's a lot more going on than you think. What's next? Oh, you can literally see where I dabbed away the clouds and the kitchen roll imprint is there. You can see the pattern of kitchen roll in the clouds. So it looks like the fires of Mount Doom with kitchen roll clouds. It's not really a vibe. This one, however, this one I absolutely love. I actually put this one on the back of my business cards, which means you can use it for journaling. This is my little freebie. If you've ordered from my shop, you will have received a cute little moon like this, most likely. So what I had to do for the little sticker, when I say little, like, it's like that big, that's the size of the sticker. On Photoshop, I lassoed all of these little dots and had to move them to the corner because what I wanted was I wanted the planet to have all of the splatters around the edge. And as you can see, there just are not many splatters because I was trying to avoid the planet. So I picked up all these and put them there. Didn't use these because on their own, they don't look like planets. They just look like blobs. Oh, weird. These are bodies. I was practicing anatomy. These are creepy little heads and I was practicing where to put the skin tones and how to mix the skin tones. And I didn't want to get too hung up on details, so I just made these weird little heads. I was practicing anatomy and I really liked them. I posted it on YouTube Shorts and I got some weird comments. They were like, what is this? It's a painting of a body. I don't know. So even though I love this and I actually do have stickers of this one, I never did anything with it because of those weird reactions. I can pop it on the shop if anyone else would like it. I have like 30. I have 30 that I don't know what to do with. The shoulders are so wide here though. Bodies are difficult. Oh, so we did more. Obviously we can all agree that that isn't correct, but muscles are so difficult to draw. These are little faces. Oh, that jaw is asymmetrical to the actual guidelines, and that's why it doesn't look like my art style anymore because I've shifted it down. But I guess you have to learn the fundamentals before stylizing, so that's what this is. You might recognize this one if you've ordered anything from my shop because this is a thank you card. I felt like I was stumbling on my art style and I think I was the only person that really liked it. I was so obsessed with it that I painted more. I do like this and I think this is the first moment I created eyes that I really liked. These are a lot closer to the way that I draw eyes now. It is difficult to figure out where the whites of the eyes go and the darker parts and the pinker parts, but I think I started to figure it out a little bit here because they're a lot darker than you think. But if you go too dark, then they look crazy. We've got white hair with white background, then we've just got white background, and then we've got the white hair but colored background. Oh, this is my logo. I think now I've mostly switched to a digital version, although actually you might be seeing that in the corner right now, wherever it is. I did this page for a TikTok, but also I do like having the techniques in a sketchbook because that's a really good way to be able to figure out what works and what doesn't. And it also means if I come to reviewing the sketchbook, I know what techniques work and what don't. You can see the salt and alcohol went a little bit weird, but those are the most inconsistent, so it's really difficult to tell. The masking fluid is one that's always worth checking because especially like handmade paper, it can tear. I have some that rips and I know to not use it. What's next? Oh, these are the stickers. This is the animal sticker bundle. This is where they come from. Oh, there's a little bit of transfer there. I feel like that might have been recently actually. Wait, I can probably show you. Oh, do you see the rainbow hollow? There's a little birdie. There's a little rabbit. There's the elephant. And here's Froggy. I am obsessed with holographic stickers. The vast majority of stickers on my shop are holographic. They're just shiny. They're so pretty. And with that, we're moving on to these. This is actually my childhood cat. This is a random dog from the internet. I think it was Pexels. I have seen this dog a lot. Lots of messy splatters, and again I was playing with the color pencils and watercolor, but really bold color pencils. You can see just how bold the line work is. Really long weird lashes. I was trying to find my art style. Saying that, I absolutely love these eyes. I don't know why these eyes turned out so good. Like they actually look like cat eyes. Then we moved back to that same style. Line art portraits with a frame around. I think this is a pretty cool sketchbook spread. The line art is slightly different on each. I tried connecting the nose down and then connecting it up, doing simple circles that aren't connected to anything, but this one is very loopy, really different, but only really when you look up close, which I do like. Oh, and then we've got the Met Gala. This is something I was going to do every year, but this is literally the only year that I've ever done it. To be honest, I completely forget that the Met Gala exists. It'll be like, oh, here's the photos from the Met Gala, and it's like, what's the theme? I had no clue it was happening. And I like to create my videos a little bit far in advance, so this always catches me off guard because it needs to be a really fast turnaround. People are only interested in the Met for like a week. We've got Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and Blake Lively. The faces are absolutely tiny, and I did really struggle creating that small, but obviously we need the dresses in. This is when I tried to paint pet portraits. I like this kind of loose look with the watercolor, but then I struggled with how loose does it go or how detailed do you go? But you can see the watercolor is blended, so already that's kind of a different style to this. This one I really like, and I didn't know where to begin with white dogs, so I gave up my pursuit of wanting to draw pets. And some of them have long hair, some of them have short hair, some of them have scales. There's so much variety, I don't know how to make it consistent. This is an idea I had. I wanted to paint a skeleton. On Arch's paper, I wanted it to be an original. I was testing out different color themes, what the background would be, how it's gonna go. And then I put the sketch onto Arch's paper in fine liner and figured out that I did it wrong. I did the entire skull too small. So then I had to abandon that entire piece and go over in gouache. The whole idea of it being watercolor and fine liner just went out the window. And with that, we move on to the end. I painted with leaves. There they are. You can see all that texture. It was a lot of fun. I recommend. Well, this sketchbook is pretty chaotic. There are so many different art styles in here, different mediums, different subjects, portraits, animals. We explored everything. And I thought I found my art style a few times. I didn't, but I explored it anyway, and I think that's what counts. Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you have, make sure to give it a like. There are loads more sketchbook tours, so make sure you check out the playlist down below. Why don't you grab a cup of tea? And I'll see you back here in a few days' time. Bye-bye.